Hey, we're here. A little late. Little late. I know I said 8:15, but it's 8:19 now, people. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Have a good time. You're gonna have an amazing time. I got some cool ass people here with me. We're about to talk about a fun ass movie, cool ass movie, whatever you want to call it. But we are about to discuss the film Evil Dead Trap. And I'm gonna tell you guys this right here. There's rumors. There is rumors that I am starting now. This movie's based on true events. You see, back in about
Oh yeah.
what year was it, James? 1997. In I think it was in like East Jamaica. It happened. And I'm here to tell you guys the truth about these movies. That's it.
We're a minute in.
Listen, I was saying all the only reason I was saying all that shit is because I was looking for this overlay, and I was just stalling to find this overlay. And there we go. But yeah, this movie is based on true events.
Is it?
It is.
There was a serial killer around the time that there are references to.
Sturdy said 1997.
Yeah, and this was made in 1988.
I got my years mixed up.
That's okay. It happens. I assume that was the case.
Boom. See, Trevor knows.
Trevor's got your back.
Nick.
Hey,
Good to
bud.
see you.
How you guys doing? How's everybody?
Oh, we're
What's
doing
going
it.
on?
All right.
Oh man,
High
I'm having fun. How you guys doing? I'm
leaving you
ready.
hanging. He just left you
I
hanging.
know, right?
Oh, I left you hanging. I'm sorry.
He's doing it on the side.
Either way.
Fucking A. Too hard.
Wow.
You know what it was? My camera was mirrored, and as you did that, I just unmirrored it.
And
And
then
I'm like, wait, where am I going? What's happening right now?
threw yourself off, confused yourself.
Yeah, stupidity at its finest.
Hey man, we all do it so well. But how are you all doing tonight? How are you guys doing tonight?
Great, man.
Very good. Very
Playing
happy
my
to be
nipple.
here.
I'm happy to hear that. See that?
Wait, that's what
I'm
you
happy to hear
said
that.
before I came on.
I just
What?
thought of coming to America as soon as he said that. I'm very happy to be here.
Anybody has to be here.
Who's the weird guy touching his nipples?
That's Dave. That would be me.
Oh shit.
What happens outside of the frame, we do not know.
That is very true.
Gonna leave that sit there.
That is very, very true. There's a lot of weird shit that probably goes on in these shows that none of us know about.
Yeah,
And none of us
Behind
want
the
to know
green
about.
screen.
a little bit sturdy. Just a little bit of weird shit happens.
Just a little. But just finished over on the Scene Snobs, and we did talk about some movies that I think you guys should all check out. So I'm going to tell you right here: Speak No Evil from 2022 and Speak No Evil 2024 are some really good movies. They end a little different. Actually, it's not a little different. They end very different.
Quite different.
But
Is that the one that
You
just
guys
came
check 'em
out with McAvoy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yep.
Well-
I'm not going to spoil them on here. We did that over there. I'm not going to do it on here yet because I didn't talk about it on here yet, so I won't spoil it.
Actually, I don't want to spoil it either. We did go full spoilers on the show.
Yeah.
But I do. Trevor, did you happen to see both of those movies?
I saw the first one.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
I'd really like you to watch the second one when it comes out,
Okay.
or the new one when it comes out, or whenever you're ready to watch it, and just let me know what you think.
Okay, groovy. Definitely.
I'd really like your opinion on that for sure.
Mhm.
All of your
Honestly,
guys, really.
I would love to do like a round table with you guys if we could set something up, even if it's a pre-record thing, discussing both of those films, like really just giving a deep dive on both of those films. I mean, the main parts we'll be talking about is the twist and is the difference of the films and shit. But I think it'll be a good conversation, a fun conversation down the road. We're gonna have that. But
I maintain I like that the turning point in both movies is similar. Anyway, let's talk about Evil Dead Trap.
Evil Dead Trap.
Sturdy gets me off on tangents, and that's the fucking problem every time on a Sturdy show.
Well, listen, I had to let people know about the Scene Snobs, Mick. You got to do that. People wanted to know where I was at. I had to let them know. I was over on the Scene Snobs channel.
No, don't worry about the Scene Snobs channel. You should be listening to James's music and I shit you not, I'm not being a dick. I'd actually like you to come up with a theme song for me.
Ooh,
Okay.
Pretty awesome.
I think that'd be cool.
All right.
Like, I don't mind the music, but it'd be kind of cool to add a theme song to it. You've been kicking butt with it, so
you already know what you gotta do. Make this tell them what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I want. That's the problem. Oh, sorry. Went all grease on you guys.
He loves that movie.
This film.
I
had a
don't
really
dislike
catchy
that
theme
movie,
song.
even though it's problematic and stupid.
Say it again.
I don't dislike that movie, even though it's problematic and stupid.
What, Grease?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like 1 and 2.
You know what it is though? It's the same with anything for me. I don't care. I will separate the artist from the art.
Mhm.
So I will go back and watch all of this stuff. And I'm sorry, Chinatown is one of the best movies ever made, but the fucking guy was a monster. So I'm just gonna enjoy the art. You know, like,
Fair. I get it.
that's the line I have to draw, or I'm gonna go crazy because everybody's a monster.
Well, you always have to look at things within context. And that's an issue because a lot of people don't want to do that. But when it comes down to it in the long run, that's where the academic work's going to be done. That's what the influences are going to be. And it's just unfortunate a lot of people can't have a discussion like that.
Yeah.
So,
Great point.
So, for Evil Dead Trap, is this everybody's first time watching?
My
Mine, yeah.
first.
mm-mm.
I've seen it like once before.
Okay. What about you,
Okay.
Trevor?
About 4 or
you've
5 times.
Trevor, can I ask a question about this movie? Because I pointed out to Sturdy while
Okay.
we were watching it. First time watch for me. I really enjoyed it. Music wise, did you notice a big influence in there?
There are 2 influences there.
Who's the other influence?
Well, okay, so the other influence is John Carpenter, but the big influence is Goblin, and
Yeah.
I'm actually going to put the case out that this is less of a slasher film and more of a giallo in a traditional form. But we'll get to that later, and I'll babble about that crap.
Love it.
No, I want you to battle about that right now, right while you're at it. I think you need to just go right
Okay,
with it.
okay.
That was
Well,
dope.
one of the interesting things about this, okay, so I actually gave a little bit of wrong information on the last show. So when this was made in 1988, it was actually put into theaters for about 2 months, and then it went to VHS, and it became very popular on that. So it did have a theatrical release, but it was funded by a home video company that also did porn. So its intention most likely was just to go to home video, but it ended up being this really great film. So the director, Toshiharu Ikeda, doesn't like horror. I honestly feel that he had less to do with the film than probably the screenwriter, Takashi Ishii, who made Isle of the Malformed Men, the Torture trilogy. He was a company man that had this like David Lynch sensibility. And why this movie is so weird and makes such amazing references is I think is Ishii's script is so detailed. Now there's no official word on that, but that kind of brings us back to the giallo and also the music that sounds like Goblin. The director has been asked whether or not he even knew who Dario Argento was, and he claims he didn't, which brings it back to the argument that this is a very detailed script. So it sets it up in a way that you have a killer. In this case, a videotape has been sent to a show that tends to do over-the-top things. It's being viewed by Nami, who is the host, and basically she stumbles upon a snuff film. This then leads her to decide, I'm going to find this place, see if this actually exists, and, hopefully I'll get a big story. Well, this then leads to the element that is more like a slasher film, in which you have this caped, hooded figure who shows up and there's no real explanation. But I feel it owes more to the giallo because, number one, Nami is an amateur detective. Number two, your killer, Mayeski, who's the guy, he gives off very much a giallo killer quality in the fact that there's a supernatural element that he has to hold back. And I really do. I mean, the lighting, the killings. There's this wonderful killing in which a character is literally taken into a wire noose and pulled over a jeep. This is like a direct take from something like Tenebrae. So yeah, Argento was a huge influence, and also Lucio Fulci. How many times do we have to have the, zombie flesh eaters knife sequence in this film? But no, that's why I think it's more of a giallo versus just a slasher, because slashers didn't start going in a supernatural way until, shit got dull.
Yeah.
So that's my argument.
I'll say too, with that, one thing I really liked the element of this movie was the coloring of each sort of level as she goes through, and how it just encompassed the whole set. Like it was perfect. Like when it was green when it needed to be green, and it was red when it needed to be red, orange when it needed to be orange, and it just each time it's like Alice in Wonderland, like going, like each time getting darker and darker to a point where are we going with this? Like I really liked the levels this film takes and where it goes to, and I'm mad I haven't seen it until now.
Yeah, and off of what you were saying, Trevor, with that wire noose thing, and then from her getting dragged and then dragged down, and her breaking her neck on the ground, I was like, oh, like
I mean, that's already a grueling scene on top of an extraordinarily grueling scene, which are, I mean, warning for anybody, there are very intense scenes of sexual violence. So just so you know that before you go out watching the film. The noose killing actually happens after another killing of a character that seems to be like a slave or a slow kill for the main killer. But how he acts and what he says as far as actually tenses and everything gives him this weird Renfield quality, packaged in like the sleaziness of Negatsu Roman porno. And it's just, this is such a visceral film because the killings are, I mean, I would go and say that this might have some of the most inventive killings of any film up to the mid 90s. And it where, a lot of slashers, this is also an element of a giallo. Giallos are notorious for their very elaborate killings, but they're very staged, unlike the slasher, like, okay, we're going to try to do this, but it's crazy, body count. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, great point.
What are some of your guys' favorite kills in this one? Like I know mine is the one where, again, remind me. I said it when I was watching. Actually, remind me if I saw the devil, which I'm not going to spoil that ending, but well, kind of. But where the chick gets through the door and the gun goes off, and then but the arrow shoots out, lands right by her head. Then the chick goes walk, trips over that wire, and then boom, that big ass blade hits her in the side of the face. The funny part of that though is when the chick goes up to her, she's talking to her, she's called her. I'm like, yo, you've seen what happened. You should be running, not talking right now. Now's not the time to have a conversation.
Half her face is falling off.
Well, I like that one too because at first the arrow misses. Yeah, and you're like, okay, now what? And then, boom, there goes half her face.
Yeah,
game over.
Not just that, but they built up really good suspense in it. Like, and honestly, and to Trevor's point with Giallo, like if that felt like a very Giallo suspense scene, unlike some of the other killings that were in it, that were so visceral. This was too, but the buildup was really good.
Yeah,
I don't feel like there were a lot of the killings. There was a lot of good buildup. This one I felt like really did. So appreciated it.
Yeah.
What about everyone else? Did you ever?
That was my favorite. That's what I was going to say.
So we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead.
You go ahead, please.
I was gonna say I did like the scene where like all the metal fucking like spikes came out of the floor. And was
Yeah.
stabbing that.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like Hellraiser or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one too.
God, this is a good movie.
I mean, there was a lot.
Yeah, I was like through her fucking cheek, her head, fucking face, everywhere. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
Now, Sturdy.
Overkill.
Oh, Sturdy. Last week we had talked about Cannibal Man, his original name. And this actually is a film that its literal translation actually makes more sense, because you can argue it, and a lot of people argue that this film is highly influenced by Evil Dead.
Mhm.
Honestly, when you come to the similarities, it's being done so differently and from other things that it really doesn't make sense. It's actually Trap of the Dead Spirits, which automatically
Oh no!
puts it within a title that is supernatural.
Okay.
So I thought that Dead, because it was going to sell, but the actual literal title I think makes more sense when you look at what eventually happens at the end of the film.
Was this one of the 72 in the Video Nasty?
No, it actually was under the radar. It just didn't even these were films that were basically just going to Asia, and they were selling in Asia. They didn't have a lot of overseas for these films because they were made super cheap and for a video market. So they survived, but there's all kind of as far as Asian cinema, it's kind of like the Cat 3 for Hong Kong, but a lot of the other countries didn't have it. But yeah, this was a Hong Kong film. It would have been a Cat 3 or Category 3, which means, we can't give you anything but this equivalent of an X and, have a good conscience.
That makes sense.
Oh, man. It sucks, though, because it's like, why? I wish it could have been here a hell of a lot sooner. Just because this is one of the, we all enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's plenty of other people that are just like us that live here in America and then just enjoy this because it was an entertaining horror movie. It was a fun horror movie. It gave you what you wanted with the kills. It gave you what you wanted with just the visuals of it. The visuals of it. I love how with a lot of Asian cinema, they just take it there. They take it to where I don't know if it's like we're afraid to. I don't know if it's because of the laws and whatever. I don't know what it is. But I love how they really take it there in a movie like this or something that's more of a serious, darker tone. They try to scare you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is a special movie because it's a movie that has amazing strengths based on intense influences, but also as a film, it's extremely underrated as an influencer. Even if you look at the editing and some of the more different styles of film stock and things like that, this movie was actually 1 year before Tetsuo Iron Man. And there are elements of this film that almost seem, as far as like a progression, this film is like the nascent version of what Sakamoto eventually did with Iron Man.
That's a statement, Trevor, because Tetsuo is a hell of a movie. This is a hell of a movie, but when you haven't seen Tetsuo, it's a hell of a movie.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing, but I think this movie made it more possible for Tetsuo to actually make it into a bigger situation because it actually got a release and stuff. But I don't know.
Oh no, I can definitely see that. I want to warn these gentlemen, if they haven't seen that movie after watching this, they might be thinking they're going to see the same thing.
No.
You need to be aware.
It's awesome. Oh, it's good.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think everybody.
I see what you're saying now.
It's fucked up.
I see what you're saying now.
So, actually, I thought we talked about on the last episode. I think the hardest movie I've ever seen is Come and See.
That is a tough one. Yes.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
It's a war film.
That is a horror film.
Yeah. Well, 120 Days of Sodom is also a horror film, but it's also a war film. So, I had to bring that one up, didn't I?
We both kind of brought the party down on that one. On these.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if we look at so what influenced this film? David Cronenberg was huge. So there's a lot of Videodrome in this movie, to the point that actually the story itself is kind of picked from Videodrome. So in Videodrome, you have James Woods' character working for his late night public broadcasting low-end channel, and his engineer picks up this signal that is so weird, so violent, so different. He needs it for his channel, and then it leads him into what Videodrome is. This is very similar in the fact that she gets what she thinks is possibly a snuff cassette, and it leads her on the same track as James Woods. The film is also very much, especially at the end, and when you have Hideki come out and everything, it's very influenced by Scanners. It's very influenced by The Brood, but it's also influenced by a lot of really hard-end cinema that was big in Japan. The Roman porno. The director had done one other film in a theatrically run series called Angel Guts. So violent things since the 1960s were out there in Japanese cinema. So that doesn't make it special. But in my mind, what it makes really special is this was 10 years before The Ring. 10 years. Nobody's going to tell me that this film is not a massive precursor to Japanese horror as a whole. Yeah. It takes upon video technology as a possible way of sending evil 10 years before The Ring blows up. So the movie in certain ways is very revolutionary, but in the same way, it's just, it's taking something else revolutionary, like Videodrome.
So in that instance, then, just to kind of question, just to kind of better understand it, this movie and a lot of movies in Japan at the time were kind of drawing from a lot of those famous American horror movies coming out. So then you could say that all these movies that are copying Japanese movies that were influenced by those Japanese movies that were influenced by American movies. Thank you. You're welcome, Japan. All we want to say is you're welcome.
Well, if you want to say what
we're so terrible, that is such a terrible thing to say to Japan. I'm such an asshole. I love you.
I'm gonna say thank you to Japan because
thank you.
We love your cinema here on Horror with Sir Sturdy.
Well, this one goes out to Mick and Sturdy because the head makeup effects man, Shinichi Wakasa, actually went on to be one of the head effects men for the Heisei Godzilla and Gamera films. So there, boom, Godzilla Trinity thing done.
And that's where this whole
adventure started.
Triangle offense started was Godzilla. Now, what was the gentleman's name again?
Shinichi Wakasa.
I swear to God, Sturdy's pants are wet right now. Every time you pronounce the name correctly, Sturdy just like washes the floor.
I just love it, man. I respect it. It's so dope. I was just talking about this earlier. We have boring letters. We have boring ass names. America, we need to step the fuck up. This is why black people come up with the ridiculous ass names with all the boring ass shit we have. That's the reason why. That's the reason. I'm letting the cat out the bag.
Yeah, Eric. It's going Kevin.
Yeah, and Kia, Mercedes, and all them other car names and shit. Those beep beep to you. Love you.
Moon Unit Zappa. All that kind of crazy shit,
Yeah. But when it's a cultured name, it's just so dope. My parents.
Your love is getting a little wild here.
But let's hop on back to this. By the way, hold up. Did you guys ever see Street Trash?
Yep.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
Yes,
That was
love
pretty
this movie.
Great film. Great New York underground slime
And
cinema.
if anybody else is a horror fan, this is available on snobsmerch.com.
It really is. It really is. And this is another movie that's based on true events. I believe it happened in the armpit of America in New Jersey.
Fuck you.
Oh, shit.
You want to pull movies like this, it actually took a lot of influence from Basket Case too. So that's where that argument comes, because Ikeda was a very competent director, but was notorious to say he did not like horror. And there's even a commentary that I've heard parts of that he just kind of whatever. So I do think it is the talent of Takeshi Ishii and his just weird world of cinema that made this film possible. And another thing, before I forget, let's jump even further. What film series was immensely influenced by this film? It's a slasher series.
Wait, let me think.
Slasher series influenced by this?
Yeah.
Scream?
Saw.
Oh, duh.
Oh, fuck yeah. Saw.
Yeah.
Oh my
I even
god!
said it during that scene.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, this
What'd
is
you say,
one
Mick?
of the first horror trap movies in a gore
Yeah.
sense.
When
I
I
got it.
watched it, when we were watching it and she was
I
opening
gotta
the
talk
door,
my
I was like,
head.
this is just like Saw.
You did mention that, but it's
Yeah.
just obvious because it's right there in your face. It's called Dead
Well,
Trap.
I mean, James Wan, I mean, he's a Japanese filmmaker, so I mean that
Yeah.
makes sense that
could have
he's
been
gonna
influenced
draw.
by it.
We all do it, you know.
Mhm.
Oh man, that is
Fuck,
awesome.
I'm writing a script right now that is literally influenced by everything.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm
See
intrigued.
now.
Oh, I'll tell you about it off air. You're gonna like it.
Awesome.
Oh, all right, I'm gonna listen. It's about a cup, and there's these two
There's
girls,
two girls. No.
and they're walking to.
I'm telling the story about the girls.
Yeah,
The movie's going to open with the manufacturing of the cup.
basically, the reason why that happened is because they had Taco Bell, and there was no toilets in that house.
God, can we change the subject to Japanese movies?
I just had to go there. Real quick.
You actually could make an argument for what he was saying and what you said, and there is an element of Japanese.
I know,
cinema,
I've seen
but
Dead
we
or
won't go
Alive.
there. Oh, that's nothing.
Oh, yeah. I'm not
what's
going
funny.
much further down the rabbit hole.
What's funny is we've only done this is like the third week we've been on here
Mhm.
in like a year, and then a year ago we were talking about Two Girls in One Cup.
We were.
That's
I
all
remember.
it talks about. We're
It was at the beginning of the show.
captive.
Listen, it's
It went
like
on for
blood.
15
It's like
minutes.
blood.
It's
Lake.
Aaron's favorite. It's his favorite video.
No, it's not. But it's like Blood Lake. It just kind of sticks around.
I
You know,
believe
it just
you.
kind of sticks around. You know.
James and the rest of the regulars are like the kids from Speak No Evil. Our tongues are gone. We can't speak to tell you to run. He just brings it in. Two Girls, One Cup every time.
Listen, somebody out there is coming to HorrorWithSirSturdy just to hear me say Two Girls, One Cup, and this is for you.
It's
I don't know who it is.
I don't think so.
For you.
I guarantee.
Probably for you, Henry.
Two bloods, one leg.
Two Lakes, One Blood.
Two.
That was a bad movie, Blood Lake.
We should watch it. Let's have a watch party soon. James, you're hosting.
No
Yeah,
thanks.
that's a little better title though. Mine sounds more like a gangster movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Two Bloods, One Tampon. Ooh.
Oh,
Here we go again.
Well, no,
All right,
there was okay, really quick, and then I'll bring it back. There was a rumored movie, and I wish it did come out, called Alien Tampon. I'm upset it didn't come out. Actually, they had a trailer.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Sturdy, you find the shit, man. You do.
Vampires teabag.
And the thing I love about you,
That movie
Sturdy,
slacks.
actually, I'll extend this to all of you. We already know about you, Trevor. We gush about you a lot. I'm going to gush on these guys.
Matter of fact, Trevor, I gave you a shout out in mixed episode towards the end of it.
Well, that's fine, but
It was a good one.
No, we did.
yeah, you guys know all about me.
We love you. We love you. Trust me. Oh, we went all in too. We were like, he knows everything, and we love. Like we.
At a certain point, you would just want me to shut up. So just give it time.
I just have to gush on these guys for a second.
Yes.
You guys, one thing I do appreciate you guys, like, yeah, you like the shit of the shit. And I'm with you. Listen, I was there for Shark and Saw Women's Prison and all this, and God, damn, there's so much bad. There's so much bad, but I'm in for it and I laugh along with it. But a thing I will give credit to all of you about is you do not shy away from the really great movies too. A lot of people on YouTube I find like are either all about the really great and then fuck the little stuff, or they're like, we're all about the little stuff or the indie stuff or this, that, and the other thing, and fuck all the really great stuff, whatever. You guys are always willing to at least go back and watch that stuff. And I appreciate that because I do think it's important.
I mean, I just love watching movies, and I'm like, if I'm gonna watch the best of the best, or the ones that are the most popular, well, I won't even say the best of the best, the ones that are most popular, I gotta watch the ones that nobody talks about and talk about them. So maybe somebody will check it out. Even Blood Lake, as much as I hate that movie, maybe somebody will like it and hate it with me. Well, a lot of people do. Maybe somebody will like it and watch it, but it's something that's not talked about a lot. It's not something that's talked about enough. It's boring, and it gets boring talking about the movies that everybody likes or that everybody talks about all the time.
Right.
And that's why
October. Let's talk about the same 3 movies let's talk about the same 6 movies we talked about last year on the pod. Like, I understand bringing 1 or 2 back because it's like your favorite or like a solid one, whatever. But I like doing different shit every time. That's why I'm doing foreign horror now, because
I love that you've just continued this path, and that's why I secluded you, Trevor, is because you're known for that. You're known for all of it. Like, you're just cinephile. So like you are at all
neurodivergent.
We can talk about shit like this, or we can go have a 3-hour conversation about John Ford. You know, so like and that's what I love about those conversations. It's always a good time. So I'm just gushing now. I just want to gush.
No, but it's cool because this movie kind of fits into that category, because this is one of those movies where it's like,
well, I mean, there's stuff gushing in the film.
True.
That is true. It's like, you know what I mean, as far as here, this didn't come out in theaters. It's not a big name movie. Why should I watch it? Why the fuck shouldn't you? It's a movie.
That's just your answer. Well, what the fuck shouldn't you?
It's a movie. If somebody's like, why should I watch it?
You cocked your chest a little bit too. Like,
I'm just saying.
Sturdy might be the most defensive cinephile I've seen. He's like, fuck you if you're not gonna watch it.
No, it's not even that, because I don't want to say that. I'm just like, if you want to watch it, cool. If you don't, cool. But why wouldn't you want to watch it? Like, why do you want to watch the big Hollywood budget that goes to theaters and all that, but you don't want to watch the straight to DVD or straight to streaming? Because there's a lot of times where the straight to streaming or straight to DVD is fucking way better than this theatrical shit. It just had more money behind it. That's it.
Agreed.
One thing I've learned though, is that a lot of people, a majority of the people, are not movie fans. They like movies. You know, the average household goes to the movie theaters once a year. You know, so like the people you see going to the movie theaters, those are the movie fans. Those are the ones who usually probably going every week and want to see stuff or, you know, talk and things like that. So, like, even my wife is like, she's not she likes movies. She watches stuff. But she's not a movie fan. So when I'm gushing over shit, she's just like, she loves watching it, but she's like, I don't get it. But stuff like this, for people who are non-movie fans, we open it up really well in a way where it's like, we're not shitty about it. And it's like, you might want to try this though, even though you're not a movie fan. And that you don't get that a lot in many places. So that's why I kind of like this troop.
Yeah, except
for Dave. I'm just kidding, Dave. I love you, Dave.
My thing is, if you can watch it, watch it. Why not? Give it a shot. And the reason why I say this too is why you should watch, you know, from Hollywood on down, or shit, in my opinion, Hollywood on up, is because you're going to get stories you've never seen. You're going to get different variations of storytelling that you've never seen. You're going to get, I'm not going to say from all, but from some of these lower budget films or some of these indie films, you're going to get a really good story because they can't afford to do the visual shit. They can't afford to do the bullshit that Hollywood does at times. So they have to give you a story just so they get attention.
And these movies are so good that we're not even talking about them right now. We're talking to you about when you watch.
Well, no, because what it is these type of movies, they kind of get me in that kind of like, you should be watching these type of movies. Like this movie right here, we're kind of talking about here and there, back and forth. It's bringing out this conversation because this is one of those films that people will ignore just because it came out in '88. So
as a cinephile, though, I was overjoyed listening to the soundtrack, realizing like,
Yes.
because I listen to Goblin soundtracks just
Yep.
to listen to. I'll
Deep
clean.
Red is so thick in this.
Oh my god! Right, and then so, like this is just a new thing I can listen to that I know I'm going to enjoy because the sounds are brilliant.
Well, it's really cool because the composer, last name was Kata, he did very little. But in this particular soundtrack, he is able to, there are, I mean, very distinct goblin elements, but there are times in which it spreads out to Tubular Bells. And then there's times that it spreads out to John Carpenter. And it just, one of the wonders about this movie is how it just goes, and it is a surreal experience. So you have to also say that the film in certain ways was influenced by a film like Eraserhead, because it isn't necessarily linear. There are no complete explanations to the film. It is supposed to be open at the end to whatever you want to interpret it. I have to thank you, Sturdy, for getting me to dust off my damn copy of this and watch it and go, oh, wow, I haven't really deep dived into this crap in a while. So, movies like Entrails of a Virgin, Guts of a Beautiful Girl, there's so many. And it's weird because at this time period, you also had that going on in other parts of Asia. So, it's not publicized to us. There was an element in Korea, but Hong Kong at the same time, the movies are so amazingly transgressive. It's just, it is a movie with is in kind of a genre of shot on video, very personal and also rather filthy and grimy movies. And a lot of them released on video cassette, and a lot of them are very, very good. It's just, even though it doesn't seem like something you should say, is this film is actually more tasteful than most in the subgenre. Yeah,
it does handle it with a it's in a weird way. This movie is has a weird whimsy to it. That like you're kind of like it's fucked up, but like
the supernatural, like the scene with the character that has the spikes. It's also very important that there are elements of shots that look very much like manga art, in my opinion. The cinematographer, this is a cool one. That guy actually was a cinematographer for the, I think we won an Academy Award, the comedy Tampopo, but he was also the cinematographer on the legendary film Lady Snowblood. Brilliant. Again, we've got some really talented mofos working on this film, incidentally.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's always a cool thing too, where you hear just a bunch of talented either acting or just behind the camera or whatever the case may be, working on a film like this, and then you see them on the bigger films. Like, it's cool to kind of see that progression to where people, you could say, they reach their dreams or achieve their dreams if they did, and that is kind of that I think is a really cool thing.
Well, it's a testament to the Japanese system that even the filmmakers that worked on what they would call the V end or the video end, eventually did get there. I mean, if they made money, they got to, play ball. Takashi Miike, beautiful example. He came from the V, of Ichi the Killer and, all those fun films. He started in the V medium. So he was making movies for video release, and some of his early classics actually were made for that, but he shot them in scope. But if he hadn't made money from that, he wouldn't have gotten the chance to make cinema. And you go back to Kurosawa, you go back to Inoshiro Honda, who was the assistant director and very close friend of Akira Kurosawa. It was all about working your way to the top. And even at that point and now, that's something that's very admirable about the Japanese film industry.
That is so awesome that you just know and remember all that stuff. That is so it's just brilliant to me. I'm just like,
No, it's
No.
a
It's
lot of useless facts. I mean,
useful.
like with the amount of facts that I have, what if I actually thought about how I could monetize what I do for a living?
See,
Oh, trust me, we know. We try.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
we're working on it.
great, all
We're
these
trying.
facts, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
they're useful
no,
facts.
I'm depressed.
That's your
Berg
tease,
melon,
knowledge.
yeah. So
Sign up for Patreon.
Yes. Sign
The
up for
Scene
Patreon.
Snobs Patreon, not this one. No.
yeah.
Sign
This
up
one's he's
Go
right because
home
this
and
one's not
watch The
together yet.
Seventh Seal.
Ooh, you're gonna watch that tonight?
No, I told them to go home and watch The Seventh Seal.
This is going to be dumb, but one thing I noticed as I was watching this movie and altering my perception is every time I heard the theme pop up, all I could think about was that fucking song Chocolate Rain. That beat was like almost the exact same fucking tempo. So like halfway through, I'm just like, chocolate, fuck.
Well, I
And
was
the
gonna
rest of
listen
the movie,
to
I
the
was pissed.
soundtrack.
And I'm like, why?
Oh
Why
shit!
did I go there?
Now I hear it. Okay.
That's
Right?
fucking funny.
You ruined
That
it
is
for me.
funny.
Broke the glass.
That's what I bring to the
Mick,
table.
it's funny you say that because no lie, because me and Mick were watching this, right? He was like, after the show, I'm gonna check out the soundtrack.
Dude, I fucking really enjoyed the soundtrack. I thought it was so
I'm glad I
good.
wasn't the only one like that because that tune kept coming up, and I'm kind of
Yeah, it was catchy.
Yeah, it's a catchy tune.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well done tune.
Well done. Tubular dudes. Gonna jump to ratings really quick. James, what is your rating for this movie?
I enjoyed it. When Hideki came out, made me laugh a little bit. I'm like, where the fuck is this thing coming from? What the hell is this? At first it looked like Krang from Ninja Turtles, but then it turned into a baby. Like then it turned into an alien face. I was like, what the fuck is this thing, right? So that made me laugh. But I'm going to give this movie 6.
6? Yeah. Trevor, good sir.
I'll give it an 8. Yet again, I want to thank you for having me rewatch the film because I'd seen it several times in the past and I'd always enjoyed it and I knew that it was important. But to actually sit down after many years of not seeing it and, watch it as a film, it was very impressive. And I was just, as a film lover, I have to recommend this film because it was just so much fun going through the film and making those reference connections and stuff like that. And it was even more fun when you figure out that the director honestly probably had no idea what he was doing. So
that's
fair. Listen, sometimes that's just the best way to do things, not knowing what the hell you're doing. Because you're not scared to take risks. You're not overthinking it, you're just doing
you have a damn good script.
And sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. How about you two, gentlemen? Dave?
I'll give it a 7. Would recommend.
Definitely. How about you, Chad?
I'll go 7. I remember the only reason why I ever watched this was because I heard it was going to be like the Japanese Evil Dead. And then when I watched it, I knew it was nothing like the Evil Dead. But
Yep. Bad marketing.
It's definitely a fun movie.
Definitely. Yes. Hell yeah. Mick?
I give us an 8. I really enjoyed a lot about it. I thought it was really well done, and I actually would probably add this to like a rewatch list.
That's awesome. And I'm actually there with you and Trevor and Mick. I'm up there with an 8. It was a fun freaking movie. I had such a good time with it. And then the kills, like if the kills sucked, it would have been a lower rating. But they had some cool kills in it, and some cool kills that were funny, like the one that I discussed earlier. That was funny to me. And then the chick runs outside and sees another dead chick laid on the ground. What does she do? Starts talking to her too. I'm like, what is that for her talking to dead people? Just run, girl. It makes zero sense. Like, I need somebody to just listen to me for a little bit. Like, they're not listening. Not going to respond either, but okay.
And she's yelling at a dead body going, I have trauma.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm not to diminish anybody's trauma. And
No.
Mental health, getting help, I'm all for it. But like, it didn't. Like,
Yeah.
I'm having such trauma right now. She died, dude. Like,
Yeah.
And insult to injury.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor, and it was weird too.
Yeah.
That's a very strange scene that, brings up even more questions about how supernatural, or because basically this cop comes in after she gets out and she's laying in bed and basically tells her, hey, all that stuff you told us, everything will be fine if you just allow me to take it off the record.
Yeah.
Which is really creepy because there's no reason for that. I mean, he would come in and make fun of her. That would seem like a logical Hollywood trope. But for the policeman to go, yeah, all that stuff, it just didn't happen, makes you wonder, okay, does this go really that deep? And I'm very excited to see the sequel because I've never seen it.
Ooh.
Oh, I meant to ask that.
Oh, you've never seen it? I was just going to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've seen the second one, but not the third one.
There's a
That's
third
weird because it has nothing to do with it was just made by the same director and they tossed.
Okay.
It's completely different. It's
Yeah.
kind of like House 3.
Bingo. So I was thinking.
Hell, for that matter, House 2.
Troll 2.
I love House 2. That's a great movie, man.
I like House 1. I like the movie House.
Watch House 2.
Oh yeah.
I watched both of them the other day, actually, and then I watched
Good
Training.
movies.
House 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're dope movies.
You
Well, I mean, all four of them are pretty good, I think.
I watched the what is this movie called? Mick, can you help me with this, please? But I watched one the other day. James Earl Jones.
Grim Prairie Tales.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
Star
good.
Wars.
Grim Prairie
Really
Tales.
good. Mhm.
That was a fun one.
That's a very good movie.
That was a fun movie, and it was different because I'm like, I didn't know James Earl Jones played in horror, and then two, just seeing him in that role and that character with
Technically, he started one of the most famous horror comedies of all time, Dr. Strangelove.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that was his first movie. So,
Dr. Strangelove.
It's a horror film.
it is. That is definitely it's a horror
definitely
comedy
is.
for sure.
The other one I'll be discussing in the near future, people.
It's not traditionally horror, but
it's what would happen if nuclear war occurred.
And
like everybody was an idiot. Wait, does that sound like a potential could be? Oh my!
Yes.
I mean, Kubrick was brilliant. I don't care what anybody says about him; he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There are not a lot of directors, I'll say, watch everything they've done. A good amount, but not a lot. Kubrick's like probably number one on that list. Him and Hitchcock.
Depressed about every film because he hated it, even though he had his hands so deeply in them.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
he did love the joy. He
loved the drama.
He loved the joy he got from torturing Stephen King.
Oh yeah. I mean, Kubrick could be a catty bitch. Let's be honest. Very talented, but
poor Shelley Duvall. Rest in peace.
I know. Practically drove her, into almost being hospitalized for mental health.
I'm sorry, guys. Just so you know, we're contractually obligated to make this go an hour. So.
Yep, they are under contract. It's not mine.
That's why we just continue conversations until somebody jumps in.
Holy shit!
I love it. So, what movie are you guys doing tonight? I think I saw it. I'm pretty sure.
Matinee.
Yes. Oh yeah. So you came
great
in
movie, by the way. Great movie, by the way.
So we tied in with the nuclear war a little bit.
There you go. Oh man, the Red Scare, baby! I love it. I love those old
Red
movies.
Scare. Yep.
Sturdy, you need a wheel for that. You need to start doing some of those, like creature feature nuclear movies. Like there's some good ones, dude.
The atomic and the communist fear ones are very interesting and kind of end up like mixing. But no, that's actually. I mean, I think for some of us, I mean, of course, Godzilla was a gateway. But those movies were on Sunday afternoons on broadcast all the time. So Tarantula, Monolith Monsters, all those films. Saw
Them,
them
Day
numerous
the Earth
times.
Stood Still.
Yep. King Kong, of course, was just different, but it was always in there because it was public domain at that point too, I think.
No.
So, but
Dude,
no, that was a first love, and they're
Wow.
quite funny to revisit because they're really not
That's a
as
fun
good
one.
as you thought they were, but they're fun.
Yeah, good.
That's
Gotta love
sorry.
the
I gotta go. I love those, and Matinee is perfect representation of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, matinees are fun. I want to see more. I got to look into it more. Which actually, you guys are here too. I want to see more horror movies taking place in movie theaters. I know I've seen a couple,
There's quite a number of films,
and because that is always like the few that I've seen. I can't think of them right now, but the ones that I've seen, they're
Demons.
just fun and they work.
Fade to Black, was that a theater or was that that was a theater?
That was a theater, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll even take theater / movie, just in that kind of
Popcorn.
setting of getting ready to watch.
Close Cut. Close
Popcorn
Cut
we
was
see.
another one.
Blood in the Popcorn. I remember that.
Demons 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one too that kind of reminds me of Fade to Black, but I can't remember what it is. I think it takes Stage Fright. Stage Fright's another one. That's a good one.
I'll have to, definitely got to make a list and kind of go over. Make sure I didn't review them yet because that's something I want to do. Just I mentioned that before and forgot till just now. But
Sturdy Goes Broadway.
Sturdy Goes Broadway.
Sturdy at the theater. I love it.
Dude,
You got to watch Opera.
Argento.
Yeah, that's
good
probably the best one.
Well, that was the pinnacle, and then he started going downhill.
Yeah.
I mean,
Opera's great,
I
though.
still love his earlier stuff, but Opera still has that creative spirit and just it's all still Argento and who he's working with. And then you have things like The Card Player, it's just gone downhill.
Trevor, why do you have my uncle's skull in your top of your shelf?
Oh, the thing up here, that was something I purchased in the dark days when I worked at Lowe's. It was like half price.
That's why.
Yeah.
So, well, it's nice to see you, Uncle Artie.
I try to keep him slightly fresh and safe. So
I'm
just told you that he bought him a discount.
it's the least I can do for you, Mac. So.
Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. What is okay? Last question roundtable before we wrap this one up. Seeing as how I'm finishing the year out with foreign films, what is your favorite region of foreign horror?
Ooh, I never really thought about that. That's a tough
Korean.
one. That's a good one.
Ooh.
I'm with you. I'm just gonna say Asian because it jumps between a few, and I just love what they do. And honestly, and another thing is that I'm most familiar with Asian horror than I am with any other foreign, as far as international countries.
That's kind of where I'm at. So I'd have to say Asia too.
I know. I'm gonna go last. I want to hear what everybody's gonna say. I feel like a
How about
fool.
you, Chad?
Peter.
Would you say?
No, I'm definitely Asian. I mean, I'm not
too?
Asian. But
Definitely Asian.
I just love Asian culture. Like I grew up watching fucking all the Shaw Brothers films and shit. So I mean,
Nice.
Oh, nice.
I almost wish you said the Ninja Turtles.
I grew up watching the Ninja Turtles. I know they didn't make the Ninja Turtles, but
It's like that time. It's like that time Conan brought Jordan to the Japanese, brought him to Japan, just to show him that his favorite movie that set him on this whole cultural thing to like learn and love Japan, Karate Kid Part 2, was filmed in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Just destroyed his life. That was one of the best videos. I'm sorry. No, but yeah. So James, what's yours?
I said Korean.
Korean. Okay. And Trevor, what about you, man?
That's impossible. I will say
You gotta know
that. Okay, so I would say that I have to take two continents, which is Asian and European. But the problem with that is they are also the regions that have the movies have been released in the United States or made readily available. There are a lot of interesting things happening in other regions. I think there's a lot of exciting stuff happening in Mexico right now. Um, it's yeah, there's all kind of stuff. But I can't separate the two biggies because my love for foreign horror grew in a parallel for both. So
Okay, that's fair.
All
How about
right.
you, Mick?
Well, I was thinking Italian. I mean, of course, I was thinking Japanese, Mexican, even, and Australian. Those are strong contenders.
yeah.
But I'm gonna go a different route. I'm gonna go away that I don't think anybody was thinking at this.
Canadian.
Canadian, baby.
Oh yeah, Canadian horror.
Canadian
Oh,
horror
weird.
film.
Ew.
Canadian horror
The
films
first
for my
slasher film is Canadian.
in honor of our friends up in Canada, Phil and the VHS Club,
Yes.
all of you up there. I'm going Canadian horror.
Sean.
Nice.
But
it extends to their TV shows too, because their TV shows are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Degrassi Junior High, brother.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of watching that in the beginning. Not all the seasons, because they went to Degrassi, fucking Florida Keys, and whatever fuck else it did, like in different million names.
I never even watched the first one, so
I watched
Damn it, Trevor.
They made us watch it.
damn pop culture.
I love it.
Say something
That's
that
I watched it
sounds
when
my age.
Drake was there.
No,
Wheelchair Jimmy.
When he
When
he
he
was
started from the
Wheels.
bottom?
Yeah.
Well, technically, he started on his feet. Then he went to the bottom.
Yeah,
Then he went
Don't
up.
we all?
he did. Oh man, your guys' reaction was just funny. Holy shit! And he's Asian. Don't forget,
That was good. That was good.
Jack's Asian. Can't forget that.
That was a.
Between that
Pointed
and
that
Rick
one out.
talking about gushing all the time over here.
I'm going to gush over that joke.
Gosh.
I'm washing the floor right now.
That's a whole different kind of movie,
Washing the floor.
especially a movie within a movie.
That is a movie within a movie.
Oh,
within a
I got a
movie.
show I want to promote for all you horror fans out there. I started watching Evil.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a fun
heard
show,
of it.
man, and they go
Yeah.
pretty crazy with it. I liked it. Listen, as a X-Files fan, I think anybody out there who likes X-Files, they might like where this comes off.
Okay, I'll have to check it out because my wife loves it.
I'm
so-
I'm almost done with season 2.
I just started season 3. I'm like 4 episodes in. It's good.
How many seasons are there?
4.
And then they canceled it, but everybody wants it back because supposedly it ended on like a cliffhanger. So
Nice.
it's time for Mick to charge forward and then start fighting for evil.
There you go.
Call
There you
for it, people. Call for it.
Another show that is actually coming back this Sunday, September 22nd, from
I was ready to say
season
that.
3.
Another good show.
Is a
good.
really, really good show. I should have probably rewatched season 2 because I don't remember what happened. It's one of those things, but they do a very good job at doing flashbacks with this show, so I shouldn't be too worried.
Just watch season 2, and then you don't have to watch it that week to week shit, and just fucking jump on there.
I know I'm not gonna do that though. I could lie to you guys and say I'm gonna start season 2 like tomorrow, but I know I'm not gonna.
I'm not even gonna lie. I
They'll
started.
do a
daydreaming.
recap. They'll
What
do a recap.
show are you talking about?
From.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You ever see it?
No, I want to. It's on my list.
It's really, really good. Really, really good. And they're very good with the character development, with all the characters that they really introduce, like that they put a shine on.
Mhm.
Every single one of them at one point or another gets like their own dedicated episode where you learn a lot about that character, which I think is very important.
Yeah.
Especially for this type of show. And it's
Good.
it's a wild, crazy show. I don't want to spoil anything about it because there's a lot of stuff that happens that especially for this. Like, there's some movies you could watch it if you get spoiled, which I do hate. Or some shows you can kind of spoil and it won't really ruin it for you. Spoilers in this, I feel would ruin it for you because it's such like a shock or such like a surprise. Just like I don't want to ruin that. If I was reviewing it, that's a different story. And better because that this is a review, a spoiler show. But being that I'm not discussing that now, I wouldn't do that to you.
We're at
The Pixies do the intro.
that's a play for Sturdy from my show tonight.
Yes. Again,
I'm at Dutch Angle because and lit the way I am because this is the Batman 66 type of way they did things.
I want to see the Batman 66. I gotta go back and I gotta find that.
When he turns the UN and it's just like 8 white guys into dust.
When he has a surfing contest with Joker.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Wow,
not bullshit.
That's a whole nother level.
My children to this day will remind us because we used to watch that episode again and again and again.
Bat dance.
Yeah. The Batsusi.
Batsusi, yes.
See?
And you know how I know that so well? Not from Batman, which I did watch. I watched a lot as a kid. From The Simpsons, when Adam West was on, and he's like, nobody dances anymore like we did. I did the Batsusi. And that's how I do it now, how he did it on The Simpsons.
That's awesome.
Well, there's a whole element of references that would be mostly lost to the general public if it wasn't for The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
Intense writing there.
That show is so old that all of us get it, but there are early seasons that kids will never understand those jokes.
No,
like in any way, they just will not get it. None of them will get the George Bush episode when Homer and George Bush are neighbors and they're just at constant war with each other. And it's a whole allegory for the Iraq War. Or the war in Kuwait, rather. And it was just like, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. And nobody will understand it anymore.
No. Unfortunately. But hey,
life,
fuck it.
Sturdy's fault.
Should have been born sooner, kids.
He's mildish Gambino.
Mildish.
Oh man, this is America.
You broke him.
Yep, he's broken. He's broken, guys.
Yeah, it took an hour.
No, I swear, I was like, all right, I'm gonna come up with other names, and I went to James. And I was like, all right, how do I make, I was like, Macklemore. Let's say Macklemore.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, what do I do? And I came up with Tacklemore. And I'm like, my brain just shut off after that.
It was just like, no, we're done today.
Jeez.
You're gonna bring the rest.
You talked a lot today, Mick. Shut up.
He's off that high from the previous episode. Oh my goodness. This is a fun one.
Shit.
This is a fun night. Watch this. All right, people.
Send me on it. Keep it. Do not fucking say it. I
Don't
heard
say
him
what?
say, "Watch this." I'm waiting for you to say something to set me off. Stop. You know me too well. Don't do it. I don't want to go on a rant. Come on. I'm enjoying it.
No rants. Just this, people. Listen. I hope each and every single one of you have an amazing rest of your night, rest of your day. Whenever you're listening or watching this, if you're not watching it live, if you are watching it live, I hope you have the rest of your, rest of the day, rest of the night, rest of the week. Enjoy. And come back here Thursday at 8 o'clock for us to do part two of this film and maybe some random combo again. You never know with us. You never know. And part 2, I believe, is also based
I think they know by now.
I made up.
we go off the rails.
Listen, if you don't know, now you know. We just have real conversations. Every conversation goes off the rails if you talk long enough. Think about it.
Sturdy keeps prodding you.
Put that in your pocket and put it away for later. You guys have a great night. I just feel. Listen,
Dude, that was the worst. That's one of the worst.
You know what?
Slightly awkward.
I'm keeping
like,
that.
subscribe.
No. That's not. That has nothing to do with like shit, share, subscribe. That was just talking about what I was talking about a second ago. Put it in your pocket and save it for later. You know?
That's like, and that's how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
Good night and good luck.
For later.
Now fold it up, put it in your pocket, and save it for later.
That could be a conversation. It could be a piece of candy. It could be some bullshit that it could be some bullshit that I don't even want to hear. You put that shit in your pocket, you save it for later. Maybe someone else wants to hear it.
Oh,
you never know. It could be anything, good, bad, indifferent. Who knows?
Might have to cancel our show and just stay here.
This is quite the thing to watch. Oh my god! Listen. You can watch this movie. You can watch this movie, and you write it down, and you can fold it up, and you can put it in your pocket, and then later you open it up. And I watched that movie.
Boom! No, listen. Here's what
you get it out of the washer and then dryer, and it just looks like
no.
You burn an effigy, and that's how you get over a past relationship.
He's right. Actually, what you do is you dig in the garbage can and you burn her old tampons. And you get
Don't do that. Don't do any of that.
And that's how we're going to end it tonight, people. Links are in the description. Listen.
I knew you would do this.
Video store clerk are getting ready to go live at 10 o'clock. They're getting ready to go live at 10, so you need to go watch the video store clerks right after here. Just go get in line, wait for them to go set up and all that good stuff, because these guys are amazing. They're dope. You've seen the Team Sobs. We came here. Now we're going to the video store clerks, and you guys better be there and show them some love, because they're always here. They're always showing love to every single one of us on here. So show them some love. And we're going to get on out of here. And remember, get rid of demons, burn tampons, fellas. Peace.
Gynecological